Hi folks, Mark Merrill with Firm. A State House rally was looking for veterans getting more respect and some discussion about one of our Maine delegation Congress people should take a better look at the big beautiful bill, Donald Trump's. There are many types of concerned Maine people from all lifestyles recently, ladies and gentlemen, at a State House rally outside on June 6th with a peaceful gathering of speakers urging for action by politicians from the U.S. delegation to the state level. And many in attendance had flags, organization banners, and there were refreshments as well. But the support for veterans on this very somber and patriotic anniversary of June 6, 1944, you may recall D-Day, it's when the Allied forces landing at Normandy, France took place, was well represented, though, as well as other groups from others around the state. Now, here's just some of the speakers on the day of the morning of June 6th. To warn you and tell you in advance, ladies and gentlemen, that before we present this, that these organizations are not endorsed by Firm. We do not believe in their values. But please take them all in conjunction with their presentation. But these were the people who spoke at the State House on June 6th, 2025, just recently. These are the values that Firm stands for, folks. The Declaration of Independence, as well as the Constitution, the American flag, and our youth. Ways to stop and how to prevent bullying, if you can see that up here. We always pray for our ally, Israel. There's never any change in this one, folks. Never. We're always about Title IX being law. It's on our car, around the central Maine area, even in northern central Maine, as well as southern Kennebec County in the Augusta area. Title IX is law. Janet Mills better get that through her head, too. She's not going to win any votes for the next governor of this state when you break the law. But please keep in mind, once again, folks, can't emphasize this enough, these speakers do not necessarily represent the entire state of Maine. It's a free country, and I caution you to listen to what they have to say, which may be disturbing to some people. Just to keep in mind your constitutional rights and freedoms.
Leaders who want to silence free speech and punish dissent? No, we hate that. Do we want leaders who demand loyalty and erode our democratic institutions? No. Do we want leaders who fuel division by scapegoating minorities or immigrants? No, we don't. We hate that. And you sound like a fine group of patriotic Americans. But you have to watch out because the military-industrial complex and the war pigs in Congress will use your patriotism against you. And it'll take days like today and battles like D-Day, and they'll use that same rhetoric and try to convince you why we have to go fight a war somewhere else right now. And they'll use all the World War II jargon, and they'll say, well, you got to be a Churchill and not a Chamberlain. And we got to go fight them over there, so you're not fighting them over here, right? And there's always another Hitler, the Hitler du jour that we have to go defeat somewhere. Fighting wars for us, we're always on the verge of victory. We're always just about to win. All we need is one more surge, or one more more summer offensive, just a few more billion of your dollars of your tax money, or just a few thousand more of your sons and daughters. And so I'd like to think that if we could take one of the fallen from Omaha Beach, bring him here, explain to him, you're not going to believe this, but there's a country right now that's arresting students for protesting genocide. They're scooping immigrants up off the street and they're sending them to prisons in countries they've never even been to. And they're taking every day, they're coming up with more fun, unique ways to scratch away at our civil liberties. And I think that veteran would say, well, what are we going to do? We have to do something. We have to go fight them right now. And this right here is a good start. Thank you.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have another one coming up here fairly shortly. And as to keep in mind, she may not represent the views that we the people have in this country, in this state. So we will get that here in just a moment.
Sorry, my voice is gonna shake. I hate public speaking. I saw Top Gun a bunch of times when I was a kid. Flying airplanes looked like fun. I joined the military to fly airplanes. That's what I wanted to do. And I got to do it. It was great fun. And then 9/11 happened. And then I had to go to war. Not as much fun. PTSD is real. Physical pain is real.
She said
This government is trying to
PTSD,
take
folks.
away
PTSD.
the benefits that I earned with my body, with my mind, with my soul. I didn't ask to go to war. I just wanted to fly airplanes. And I didn't fight for this. I didn't fight for this government. I fought for freedom. For us. For everyone. And the fact that I can't, I retired on June 1st after 26 years on active duty. The fact that I can't just go retire and live my life with my husband and our animals and just relax pisses me off. The fact that I have to be out here, that we all have to be out here fighting against our own government is insane. This isn't right. So thank you all for being here. Thank you to the brothers and sisters that are here that know the pain, physical and mental. We didn't ask for our bodies to be used. We didn't ask for our minds to be used. But we do ask for our government to take care of us now that they have used us. Sorry.
And one more, folks, that we have here for you here on FIRM, Fairness in Reporting Media. Mark Merrill, as always, at the State House rally that took place on the same day as the anniversary of D-Day, June 6th. Veterans asking for respect. And they question a bit about the big, beautiful bill in the United States Congress, the House and the Senate, to be put in force by Donald Trump. So just one more speaker here, folks.
All over the country, all over the state. We just got back from a conference last week in DC. There's a lot of statewide or the national coordination, and we want to ensure that we are forming a coalition. We have a lot of collaborating with other group leaders within the state. And here we have people from chapters all over the state. We have the Lake Region, Greater Portland. We have Bangor, pressure on our elected officials, but I like to think of us as a support group as well. We're very much about building community, supporting those in our community that are in need, protecting marginalized communities. We're always in need of volunteers. If anybody wants to join us, we're very inclusive. We're very open-minded, very receptive to ideas. So if anybody's interested in joining your indivisible groups, most of us have a Facebook page. We're on Blue Sky, we're on Instagram. Other groups, are you on social media? And we have a website now. So yeah, reach out if you're interested in getting involved. We also have partnerships with other progressive coordination groups. Veterans for Peace is one of the other groups that we work with, along with ACLU, Planned Parenthood, Gun and Safety Coalition, of course 5051, but we work together and try to make sure that we're coordinating our efforts and that we're working towards the same goal. So, all over the country, all over the state.
So, ladies and gentlemen, those are the speakers that took the podium of the day. The speakers that took the podium as of that day on June the 6th, 2025. Unfortunately, on the same day as the celebration of the anniversary of D-Day, June 6, 1944. And what we're going to do at the moment here, folks, is we have some final comments on this, but we certainly want you to be aware of the fact that these people do not, and I want to emphasize that quite clearly, folks, do not represent firm at all, and they do not represent the entire people of the state of Maine, Maine citizens. So please keep that in mind, ladies and gentlemen. The organization, the first gentleman by name is an Adam Toothaker. He's president of the Maine Veterans for Peace out of Brunswick. VFPmaine, spelled out, .org. VFPmaine.org. And the other two ladies, both were represented by indivisiblebangor at gmail.com and indivisible.pwm.com, which stands for Portland. These organizations, folks, we'll just read a little bit of excerpts from them, but they do not, as you will soon find out here in a few seconds, they do not represent the morals and the constitutional rights that we have in this country. Why did we cover it then? Because it's free speech, folks, and everybody in this country, especially here in the state of Maine, are entitled to hear what the other side has to say, because at least this organization and Mr. Toothakers were holding a rally peacefully, without hate and without violence. Totally apart from the Washington, D.C. swamp group. The second lady that spoke, we didn't get her name, but the one that represents indivisiblepwm.com out of Portland. Why we need to take a stand? This is her stance, not firm's. This is our disclaimer saying we had nothing to do with this. We showed up for the press conference and the rally. That's all firm did, folks. We're bringing you their facts, not ours, and not the state of Maine, and not every citizen in this state. Why Indivisible, Bangor, and Portland needs to take a stand. If the Department of Education goes out, $250 million will be cut from Maine schools, they say. Federal budget cuts to Maine Care will equal more nursing home and hospital closures in Maine, they say. Actions by Elon Musk and Doge are adding up to us losing our personal information, privacy, and protection, they say. That's totally wrong. Billionaires are going to pay less in taxes, and 99% of us will have to pay more in taxes. That's false. And says our freedom of speech is being taken away from us, they say. Indivisible Bangor. There it is, folks, and we will post it and make sure that you know exactly who they are, what they stand for, and it's not necessarily constitutional. We cannot speak for the gentleman who spoke first on our recordings there at the rally, but Mr. Toothaker represents this organization right here. Maine Veterans for Peace out of Brunswick. You can certainly look him up as well. And we will post the places where you can certainly check them out. Once again, we end this program on State House Rally, where veterans were asking for respect. And who should be singled out for the big, beautiful bill so it doesn't pass? We request here at FIRM, folks, that all Maine citizens read the bylaws and beliefs, as we just mentioned, but we can't emphasize it enough again, of these organizations very carefully, as they may not promote all of our freedoms, rights, under the Constitution. In the meantime, stick with us, folks, right here. fairnessinreportingmedia@gmail.com, fairnessinreportingmedia@gmail.com. And also, what you see right here, pray for Israel. Hold accountable the people who say they are for you, but are trying to manipulate you. Let's stop the bullying, shall we? Also remember that Title IX is the law of the land. Yeah, you heard me, folks. Title IX is the law of the land, not Janet Mills, not Attorney General Fry, not the Speaker of the House who censured one of his own. She's fighting to get her rights back. And this one right here, folks. You know we've always been pushing it, and we've been promoting it, actually. Promoting it, not pushing it so much. The Declaration of Independence, paragraph 2, which I'm specifically referring to in highlighted yellow. We the people have always had the right to take down government that does not represent us and replace it with new government. That's basically what paragraph 2 says, folks. As always, Mark Merrill, your host. Peace to everyone.